Family, good morning. It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday. I got a lot in store for today's show. I apologize. I usually schedule the show a couple hours in advance. This has been kind of a wacky and wild start to my day. You know, sometimes you wake up and then like things are just a little bit backwards. That's kind of the day that I'm having, so I appreciate the grace. I mean, we'll still rock it out, and we're going to have the show, and everything's good. It's one of those days, and I'll tell you guys about it just in a minute. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys if you were in for this morning's on Wake Up Bama. I thought that was a great episode, and I'll tell you a little bit why I had to re-upload that video this morning. So it's been one of those days. But thank you so much. We'll get the show started in just a minute, and we'll recap Monster Monday, as it was crazy. I need to leave the house more often, I think. And every single time I do, it seems like news happens. So, here we are, here we stand, and we're going to rock our show here on Tuesday. And I really appreciate you guys being inside the comment box. Give me 1 minute, and then we'll kick off the show. Let me know where you guys are watching from inside the comment box, and I'll do some shout outs as I usually do, and we'll kick it. Yeah, and we'll take some calls on the back end as well. So all that and more today here on Bama Football on YouTube. Good morning to everybody. Oh my goodness. The start that I've had to this day is crazy. It's just one of them days. All right, we should be good. Here in a second. All right. Big moves for Bama. All right, here we go. Okay. Good morning, everybody. What's up? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you again for joining me today on this beautiful Tuesday. I think when you kind of look at everything, man, it feels a lot better kind of coming into today's program, right? Because you got some momentum yesterday. And kind of when you recap Monster Monday and all the positive things that happened, just as I said on Monday, you kind of entered that week with a little bit of doom and gloom because you don't get what you want. But I'm telling you, I think what happened yesterday was very positive in terms of what you needed. You don't always listen to this, okay? Do you guys agree with me inside the comment box? You don't always get what you want, right? But when you get what you need, it makes a lot more sense. And that's kind of what happened yesterday. So we're going to break it down in that context. And I think when you look at the offensive line, you got a quality offensive lineman, right? You needed a kicker. You got a kicker in. You needed a wide receiver. You got a wide receiver. And then you got a team captain coming back. So, that is what the team needs to make steps forward. Did you miss on some guys? Possibly, and that is debatable. Did you see guys go elsewhere? Yeah, and it stings a little bit. But what happened yesterday was absolutely monumental. So we're going to go over that as we continue to cruise through portal combat. I love that term. We're going to go over where are they going. There's been a couple guys that made announcements yesterday, right? We're going to go over the list of commitments that Alabama has now in store. All right, we're going to rank the transfers so far. That should be fun. I listed all the transfers 1 through 11, and then I ranked them in terms of needs, okay? Needs. There's a difference between needs and wants, right? We're going to take a look at the Alabama offensive line, right? Now that you got 2 offensive linemen in. And then I have a question for you inside the comment box. Will Yanzi Pierre and Keon Sabb, are those guys going to return? Are we waiting kind of on announcements from those 2 prospects? I think this is how I feel. I feel Yanzi Pierre is like pay him the bag, right? Get him whatever he needs to come back. With Keon Sabb, I kind of feel indifferent. You get him back, you got a quality veteran. I think that Keon Sabb was sufficient, right? But I am kind of curious for some new blood in that safety area, right? Like maybe a Jeriah Edwards or an Ivan Taylor or someone like that to see if they could have a little bit more playmaking ability. Because I think at the safety position, while we were good, I don't know if we were great, right? Good and great is different. And yeah, were we a fantastic pass defense team? Yeah, but I think you could even get a little bit better, right? So we'll discuss that here in a second. And then, of course, on the back end, we will take your calls on the program. So all that and more. And again, good morning to everybody. Yo, so real quick, all right, this day has been crazy. It's like, so I woke up, I went to the workouts, and I was reading right before I got to my workout. I saw in the comment box. I'm just going to throw out some shout outs on the board. You guys will see them pop up. And I'm getting there, and I look at my phone, and it says technical errors. People are reporting technical errors with the podcast. And I'm like, what? So I look at the podcast. I'm literally about to get out of my truck for workouts. And I saw that the podcast only uploaded 9 minutes. So who caught that first podcast? It was only 9 minutes long. It was the weirdest thing. So I knew exactly what the issue was. It was a technical issue on my end. So I had to go home. I didn't even work out. I came back home and I uploaded the podcast. And I got it up about 5:45, something like that, which is still fine. But I mean, I am so programmed that I want things to be like on the dime. And I think as a person, like, it's kind of like what's happening now. Like, you just kind of have to roll with it, and you have to just keep, consistency and performance. So I apologize if you guys got on this morning and you didn't get the podcast, but it was uploaded. I'm saying, and it's live right now, and it's a banger. So if you're out there, definitely check it out. And I appreciate you guys always being on Wake Up Bama. So good morning to everybody inside the comment box. I really appreciate you guys being here and supporting me and supporting the program as we continue to celebrate Alabama football. Yesterday was a fantastic day to celebrate the Crimson Tide, and you got 4 big pieces of news within 1 hour, right? And it was the only hour that I left the house other than my workouts in the morning. So I was crazy. Was anyone here for the live yesterday? That was crazy. It was like boom, 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 like one thing after another, right? But we covered it. We did the best that we could. I think we did a sufficient job. I mean, I'm a one-man operation. I don't have like a sidekick or a side host or, no, I do everything. So at one point, my daughter was filming. Good morning to everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me on the program. And thanks to our live sponsors. To become a sponsor of the program or to become a fan funder, just simply hit the join button. There's a couple different levels that you can choose from, and I really appreciate any your consideration in doing that. I'm supported by you, and I really appreciate that. And thank you very much to our live show sponsors. 100%. Thank you so much. All right, so I wanted to address something right away. Did you see this big name go into the transfer portal recently? Does anybody know who this is, first of all? Does anybody know who this is? All right. Who can get it? Does anybody know who this is? This is, in case you don't know, this is Jordan Seaton, okay? So, Jordan Seaton, offensive lineman out of Colorado, okay? Now, there's a lot of conflicting reports. Some people have started a rumor that Alabama is in play for Seaton. I don't think that that's the case. I think that Seaton is probably going to demand as much as Coleman, right? This is a guy who Alabama was in play for at one time when he was in high school, but I think now he's even gone up. And from what I see, I know, it looks like Texas could be the landing spot. So, like, if you're out there, and I'm just kind of trying to get ahead of the story a little bit, if you see Seaton and it's kind of like Alabama, I don't know how much truth to that there is. It seems like the big money schools like Texas, Oregon, one of those programs. Do we need offensive linemen like Seaton? Yeah, for sure. And we got a great one yesterday in Ty Haywood, and we'll discuss him and we'll highlight him. But this is out there, so keep your head on a swivel and you'll see it. But I don't know if Alabama's going to be in play here. And I do feel that you do need, like, getting this guy would quickly become like one of the largest stories in the transfer portal, right? But I don't think that Alabama will be in play here. So we'll track it, and maybe that'll change, but I just wanted to kind of bring that to your attention so you'll, in case you see it out there, you already know, right? Okay, let's go over kind of where they're going real quick because there's been a lot of movement with players that left here. I think it's interesting to track. You'll notice, some of the names went to the SEC. Alabama has one commitment from the SEC, right? But a lot of guys went to some of the SEC programs, and of course, you saw two guys yesterday go to Ohio State. So we'll start at the top left. And if you have an update here, let me know. I mean, a lot of eyes are better than just two eyes, right? So up at the top, you got Arquella Newgum. He was a tackle. He went to Northwestern. You have Cole Adams, who signed with Vanderbilt. You have Isaiah Horton, who signed with Texas A&M. You had Jalen Hell, who signed yesterday with SMU. You had James Smith, who signed with Ohio State, along with teammate on the right, Quay Rusaw. Jalen Mbakwe and Joseph Ayana both going to Georgia Tech. You have Kelby Collins going to South Carolina. Keon Keeley going to Notre Dame. Yeah, Micah DeBose also going to Vanderbilt. Noah Carter going to Georgia Tech. So Georgia Tech scoops up 3. And then you have Olas Allen going to Kentucky and Quay Rusaw going to Ohio State, as mentioned. And then on the bottom, you have Wilkin Formby going to Texas A&M. I think when you look to this board, like, I feel as an Alabama fan, you're like, who cares where they're going, right? It doesn't matter. We're better off for them. For sure. I think, like, if there's nothing worse than kind of trying to hang on to something that doesn't want to be in your possession, right? I think we've all learned that. I do feel the biggest loss, in my opinion, is probably Keon Keeley. We might have a difference of opinion on that, and I do like Quay, and I do like James Smith. But Keon Keeley, I feel he has a lot of upside. And I feel that he'll do great at Notre Dame. I think he's a great athlete. Did he play out of position here? I don't know. I mean, he put on like 25 pounds onto his frame. Fantastic. So do they keep him in some sort of bandit role at Notre Dame? I don't know. But Notre Dame got themselves a good one. I am also hoping for good things for Jalen Hell. That's one crazy story. And I'm so grateful that he was able to come back from that, because he went through a lot. He was almost, kind of, was that guy going to walk again? And to see him continuing to play, I think is great. A guy like Cole Adams, he's easy to root for. He's a good guy. Didn't cause any problems. I mean, he left. He wanted more playing time, right? James Smith and Quay Rusaw, them going to Ohio State, I guess that's better than them going to Georgia. Those guys are good. They'll complement Ohio State's defense and Matt Patricia's led defense really well. And then like a Jalen Mbakwe, I think you look at him and you just clearly understand that paying him the amount that Alabama was probably paying him didn't make sense financially, right? So you kind of had to trim the fat there to bring in some other players. So that's kind of a look. And then I guess finally at the bottom right, Wilkin Formby. He made a lot of cash, clearly, going to the portal, going to Texas. I mean, what do you get paid, like $2 million? Wilkin Formby just never turned out here. Some guys have blow-ups when they leave, like Seth McLaughlin. He left here and won the Remington, which is still, like, blows my mind. Wilkin Formby, we tried him out at tackle, tried him out at guard. Great dude, hometown hero, but just couldn't get it going on here. So that's kind of where they're going, just to kind of update you, all right? So for the Alabama Crimson Tide, they have 11 total commitments in, okay? I took a tight end off the board because he's a preferred walk-on. That is the Shuttlesworth from Jacksonville State. So you have 11 guys that will officially be on scholarship. And I know your biggest question inside the comment box is, have these guys signed? That's a great question. The way that they officially sign, and I know you have PTSD like me from the whole Hollywood deal, right? Committed, boosted his offer, and then signed somewhere else. So what we're waiting for is like official announcements from the university that these guys have signed. And that's kind of the best that we can do, is we know that they committed, we believe them, and we hope that they don't boost their offer and go somewhere else. So to my knowledge, it seems like all these guys are in the tank. You know, as I know, the transfer portal is super fluid. So let's just hope that these guys stick. But here's what we have so far, and I'll go full screen. We have 3 on the bottom that committed yesterday. That was on Monday, right? Monster Monday. Josh Ford, Kedrick, Bingley-Jones, Caleb Woodson, Devin Tompkins, Caden Strayhorn, Ethan Tangle, Adam Watford, Carmelo O'Neal, Ty Haywood, Noah Rogers, and Lorcan Quinn. Okay, the bottom 3 committed yesterday. Were you all happy with the commitments yesterday? I'm sure you were. It was Lorcan Quinn started off the party, right? He committed. And then following that, Ty Haywood committed. And then shortly after that, Noah Rogers committed. And then right after that, Bray Hubbard was up to bat. So it was like 4 big kind of additions to this 2026 roster. Do you feel that Ty Haywood is going to be a day one starter? I'm going to show you the offensive line graphic that we usually, that we've been pulling up. It's going to be hard for us to, tell because we have to go into practice and see how these guys are performing. He didn't play a lot last year at Michigan, right? But I am super happy. I think that's probably, the biggest get for us right now in the transfer portal, to be honest. I'm gonna show you my rankings of the portal in just a second. And then we have Noah Rogers. I thought that was a score. I was watching some film on Noah Rogers. I think who would you all say that he is comparable to? I think that he is comparable to kind of like a Jeremy Bernard, but I feel he has a little bit more twitch to him. Kind of, I seen him like hurdling over guys. So maybe a little bit more playmaking ability, but we'll have to see because Jeremy was great. I mean, I say that, and then I think about some of the big catches that Jeremy had, right? I'm going to miss Jeremy 100%. Right? Aren't you guys? Like that guy just kind of elevated the team kind of with his leadership and kind of who he was, right? I felt that he was a guy. And we wish him well, and I certainly hope that I can pick him up on my fantasy football team because I think he'll be steady in the NFL. But you get Noah Rogers in, and now you have 6 wide receivers. I'll show you the wide receiver graphic in a minute. And then you have Lorcan Quinn. You needed a kicker. I think you needed because you got Peter Nataro hit the transfer portal, so you only had 1 kicker. There's a couple other kickers that are walk-ons. Does anybody know Tucker Cornelius? If you're really dialed in to like the roster, you'll know of this name. Tucker Cornelius. Does anybody know of this name? The reason I know about it is because he came to Northridge, and he was a kicker a couple years ago. Yo, that kid had an absolute cannon. Like, the kid could kick. But I think he's a preferred walk-on. But Lorcan Quinn comes in, and I'll talk about these guys more in a second. But I thought that was a good pickup to create competition. I'm sure he's going to be the guy. I'm kind of wondering if Connor Talty will hit the transfer portal. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Okay, here are my transfer portal rankings. How do you feel? Why don't you go ahead and look at mine and post your top 3 inside the comment box. And if you want to come back, then, post your whole 1 through 11. I had a little bit of time just to go through this. Let's see how we feel. Okay. So starting at number 1, these are my transfer portal rankings for Alabama 1 through 11 so far. I got checking in at number 1. I got Ty Haywood. I mean, makes perfect sense to me. This is the biggest get. I think it's like, out there for the headlines. People are like, wow, Bama got Ty Haywood. Yeah, score. Let's roll. But besides that, I think he's someone that they're going to get in here to be a starter at the tackle position. You needed offensive line. You needed quality offensive lineman. Getting a former 5-star from Michigan. Boom, right? So I got Ty Haywood at number 1. Do you all agree? I think that's pretty much the easier one, okay? And look, I'm open to all your feedback. These are just, rankings that I cracked out. Number 2, I feel Caleb Woodson. And I think Caleb Woodson because you needed a veteran inside backer. He came in with a ton of experience, has a ton of tackles over the last couple of seasons, and a vet comes in to help some of those younger guys get going. And we got linebackers, I'm telling you. But Caleb Woodson, I think from a knee perspective, you needed a veteran inside backer, okay? Number 3, Lorcan Quinn. Yeah, I'm kind of with Wade's World inside the comment box, right? Like, doesn't it feel like whenever a kicker is from like another country, that just makes them better? And I think the reason for that is historically, soccer around the world is much better than, do you watch like FIFA soccer? You know that the United States has like almost no chance to win the World Cup. Everybody else is playing soccer. We're playing football over here. They call it football, but like, you get what I'm saying? So you get somebody from even like across the pond, right, that kicks, you feel like we straight, right? So Lorcan comes in, and let me ask you this. Do you feel that Alabama needed a kicker? And you might be like, duh. Well, let me ask you, because Connor Tauti, towards the back end of the season, he was money. But I argue this. I think you needed a kicker for more distance. And I'll talk about Lorcan in a second. But this guy was 4 of 6 from outside 50. I put Caden up there as well. I would imagine he has a shot to start at center or projected to start at center. Okay. And I know what you're thinking inside the comment box. You're like, okay, got the offensive lineman, got 2 in, we need some more. But, like, who's recruiting these guys? The guy who's recruiting these guys is Coach Kapilovic. All right? Yeah, he's still here. I know you guys want a different offensive line coach, but Kapilovic is sending offers out. Even the big man from Bucknell, you saw him. I'll talk about him in a second. He tagged Coach Kapilovic on his offer. Okay. Number 5, you needed a punter. So you got Adam Watford. So I put, like, you're like, what? 3 and 5 are special teams players. Yes. Yes. You do not want a bad kicker, and you do not want a bad punter. Okay. We want guys in that area. So, like, those first 5 all fit needs. That's what we need. We need needs. We don't want wants. Okay. Noah Rogers over here, I put him as number 6. With him coming in, you only had 5 wide receivers. You need more wide receivers. You probably need like 3 more. So you got Rogers in, and like I said earlier, I think he's comparable to Jeremy Bernard, but a little bit more twitchy. Watch his highlight tape. You'll be excited for sure. You got Devin Tompkins in here. I saw someone inside the comment box say that he was a little low. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if he'll push for a starting spot at Bandit, right? Because he's probably going to have to battle with Jordan Renaud, right? I like him. I like his skill set. I don't even know if he'll play Bandit, to be honest. I think this is something that we'll have to find out in spring football, right? He's like 6'6", like, what, 290? Is he really a Bandit? All right, then you got Kedrick Bingley-Jones. He wasn't like the most imposing defensive lineman, but you need big bodies. And he's probably one of the bigger bodies that we got now. I mean, 6'4", 225? He played a good amount. He's a redshirt senior. He's a vet. See, Ryan has Tompkins as a freak, so maybe he boosts up a little bit. And like I said, these aren't like official rankings. I'm open to your guys' rankings. I'm just, throwing it together as I kind of see it. Josh Ford, I mean, we got tight ends. He's an inline tight end. Kind of more of a blocking tight end. We got guys like this, though. But we welcome more of them because maybe he could be a little bit better. Carmelo O'Neal, I put him a little bit low. I put him low, but he could be like on our sleeper card. He played over 700 snaps, had, 32 tackles, and depending on what happens with Keon Sabb, he could battle it out with some of these younger guys like Jariah Edwards or, Ivan Taylor, maybe for playing time, Zay Mincy. I think he comes in and creates competition, right? And then you got Ethan Tangle. And like Max is saying, the biggest thing is, and what I found is people right now, because of what happened with Hollywood, they don't care about commitments. They want signed. I totally get that. The University of Alabama officially posts when the players are signed. I don't know. I think they've done it for a couple of guys. But that's something that we're just going to have to wait and see. I've reached out to some people, and I have asked, are these guys signed? And I didn't get any sort of response, okay? So, yeah. So, are they signed? I mean, we just wait for the university. I haven't heard that these guys are wavering, but I fully understand the post-traumatic stress that you have following Hollywood. I get it. You want these guys. You know what? I was even talking to someone this morning. They were like, the only way that people are really going to feel confident in these players like that are on the board is when they see them at practice in the springtime. That's the only time, right? Yeah, I understand. One guy was enrolled in school, and now he's going somewhere else. Yeah, I totally get it, man. So, but yeah, in terms of like actually signed, great question. I think the one that's only signed, to be honest, is Josh Ford, if you really want to know the truth. And this is going to be scary. Look, someone said too that this is like kind of out there, that when you commit, that's when like the negotiating starts. I don't know if that's true or not, but I was like, are you serious? I was like, don't tell me that. So I get it, because I get it here. And then when I post on Facebook as well, people are like, they signed? They signed. And I'm like, no. But we wait for the University of Alabama, and it doesn't seem like these guys are taking any other visits or things like that. So let's just hope that we hang on. I know, and Dear RTR is like, bro, that's weird. How do you commit and not sign? I know. I totally get it, dude. So hopefully we keep these guys on. But I think Smothers, what he did, definitely impacted a lot of the Bama fan base in a couple different ways, because now they're like, man, we need to see them signed. And then everybody, I'm sure you've seen it out there as well, they're like, yo, Texas is going to get everybody. I mean, that was like one particular case. And see, Justin is saying that Noah Rogers is signed. So maybe I'll create another little graphic that like shows if they are signed. And if you've seen something out there, just let me know, and we'll add the tags to them. So that's kind of, where we're at so far. But I'd follow like the university's official page, and they post out like graphics when the player's signed. I'm sure it's all coming soon. So just something else to track. All right. Real quick, let's go over the commitments yesterday, and I just want to get kind of a pulse on a scale of like 1 to 10 as we do. So, new commitment in from Ty Haywood. On a scale of 1 to 10, are you like me? Do you feel that he's the number one transfer portal addition so far? What would you say? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like absolutely, 8 being, not so much. No, 8 being like high, 5 being like not so much. I think it should all be 10s on Ty Haywood, right? And I'm glad that he finally ended up here. I was bummed out when he didn't sign with the class, because he would have been what, 2025? Yeah, whatever. He's back here, locked in. Okay, so yeah, high marks across the board. Okay, and as you know, committed, should be really good in run block, which we certainly need. But it's going to be hard for us to believe until we actually see it. I understand that. Only saw 15 snaps last season, so he'll be a redshirt freshman going into this next year. Okay. The offensive linemen overall, with the addition of Ty Haywood, look like this. Hey, good to see you inside the comment box, Alyssa. Appreciate you being here. I put a little tag right here because UA announced that Michael Carroll's like re-signed. I don't know if they're going to put out stuff for every single player, but Michael Carroll's re-signed. I know re-signings are interesting, but that's kind of where we're at in the world. Jackson Lloyd, Will Sanders, Casey Poe, Mal Waldrop, Caden Strayhorn, welcome in Ty, Bryson Cooley, Jared Daugherty, right? Chris Booker, Bear Fretwell, and Tyrell Miller. How many more offensive linemen do you think Alabama needs to pull in? And I'm going to go over some targets that they have as well. Do you think like 2 more offensive linemen? 1 more? What would you like to see? I think I kind of be pulling for like an interior offensive lineman that has some experience. Look, if you can get a big dog, yeah. I'm with you, Ryan, but I think like if you can get an experienced veteran that can push some of these younger guys or create competition, right? Because I'm going to show the graphic. I think it's coming up next. It kind of showcases the offensive line, and when you look at it from a snapshot, it's really young, right? Patriot Life, what's up, man? Good to see you inside the comm box. Good morning to you. Justin, TRTR, what's up, bro? Rocket Town, good morning. Landon, good morning to you, bro, as well. That dude, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. Thanks for joining us, that dude. 10:06. That dude says a team needs at least 15 O-line, right? That's what I'm thinking. So you got, what, 12 in the tank? So, like, two more, three more? Maybe you, like, elevate a guy that was, like, walk on. You put him on scholarship, something like that. So I need all hands on deck on this graphic, okay? So we call this practice. So if we were just going into practice today, I like to switch these up. So I'm welcome to all feedback inside the comm box. You want to put someone a different spot, I'm all open for it. And then Tori's in here, and Tori wants the Jordan Seaton. We talked about that earlier in the show. I don't think that's going to be, like, that would be amazing, but it looks like Texas and Oregon are involved there. I don't know if Alabama is, right? All right. So how y'all feel about this? And I need my offensive line people to chime in here. I've been asked to put Lloyd at left tackle. And then what made us put Ty at right tackle, and then we slept in Michael Carroll to right guard. Do we like this? Are there any changes that we'd like to see made? And let me ask you this: let's say Caden is the center. Who would be the backup center? Would it be Casey Poe? Hey, Owen, what's up, man? Good morning to you. I appreciate you being here. And Patriot Life has gifted 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much, Patriot Life. If you got gifted by Patriot Life, tell them thank you, please. Patriot Life always taking care of the community. Capstone Farm says, until you see them play, it's kind of a crapshoot. 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we're in January, right, talking about guys that haven't played together. But just kind of as a snapshot, Dontario is saying it's Poe. So maybe we get some more guys getting in. I wouldn't be mad about this lineup. At least I'd like to see it. And I'm really curious to see these two guys right here, like this coming year when they have opportunities. Like, how much have they grown going into the spring season? And Scuba for Steve says, I predict next year will be worse than this year. Like, in terms of, like, wins and losses. Comment says, do I think Texas starts number 1? Probably. I mean, they always should. It's amazing to me that even what Texas is doing still, like even before this portal, that they didn't even make the playoffs, right? I think, look, what it's going to do, like the whole portal stuff for Texas, the pressure is going to be turned on to extreme for Steve Sarkisian. Now, it's always extreme for Texas, but now that you have a $40 million roster, that is win a national championship. What else are you dealing with? Well, the thing is, you could buy all the players, right? Whether you have a mix of bag chasers or guys who really have buy-in. Steve Sarkisian, who we love, Arch Manning, I'm sure he'll be better this year. You're still, at the end of the day, you are still in the SEC, period. All teams are going to be good in the SEC for the most part. And Texas will have its kind of crash out games. The SEC is a gauntlet. Now, if you had a $40 million team in like the ACC or in the Big 12, yeah, you could just automatically win 12 games. But I think the SEC teams will beat Texas. It's going to be crazy, and I think this is a great point. Lance is 100% right. You can't buy culture. And sometimes when you have a lot of bag chasers in there, it creates like they create like small cancers within the locker room, right? But don't sleep on the SEC. Like, the SEC is going to always be like the Premier League in soccer. Anybody's going to be able to beat anybody. The coaches are so good, Everybody is getting players. Everybody's loading up. When I show you the offense and defensive graphic, you might not like it, but this is a good team coming back. You're like, no, they're not. Don't think like that. They got guys. I would like to see a little bit like one veteran in here, because everybody else is just super, super young right now. And this is where it starts. It starts here. And your rebuttal, I totally get it, would be, well, who's coaching these guys? Great question. Coach Kapilovic. And I don't know. The rumor is that there's going to be changes after the transfer portal to the coaching staff. I don't really buy it, to be honest. So we'll see what happens. Okay. How about on a scale of 1 to 10 for Noah Rogers? If you haven't watched this tape, I suggest you do. It's easy to find, and it's pretty entertaining. He loves to hurdle people. He's got athleticism 100%. He's not a possession. Like, he's a guy that can make plays. Last year at NC State, and I mentioned this a couple times, I watched NC State. I didn't know who the players were. I just watched them. They impressed me. They had speed, power, agility. They were fast. They were lightning quick. Noah Rogers, I like this guy. I think he's a good fit into the room. I would imagine he battles with Rico Scott. He's probably a reason that Rico Scott, is I don't know how much he plays this year. He might be number 4 right now. Where would you say that, who are your first 3 wide receivers right now? Like, your legitimate, like, okay, because you know how the sets that Alabama runs, right? They have 3 wide receivers, 2 on the outside, a slot, and then they have a tight end. And when they go 5 wide, they just push out a running back. It's just kind of a shift formation. They never go for true wide receivers. Rarely. Would you say that Noah Rogers plays over Rico, plays over Ryan, or plays over Lazier Brooks? See, Ryan Harris doesn't even have Rogers in his starting lineup. Army wants an all tight end set, a 5 wide tight end. Yeah, we could definitely do that. We could have a whole team of just tight ends. Sean has it. Lottie, Williams, and Rogers. Yeah. And then Comment has Williams, Scott, and Rogers. And then Rico being 4th. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I kind of think that the starters will be Ryan, Lazier, and Rogers. And I think Rico will be the first guy off. And then, they'll rotate in Derek Meadows. And, you also got Sedarian Morgan. Shoot. Man. London, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Good morning. God, we got, I forgot about Sedarian. Shoot. Yeah, okay, let's look at this again. Okay, so what I'm asking you, and Alabama sets, they run 3 wide receivers. I heard really good things already about Sedarian Morgan when he got here already, because he's already here. He's been here since December. Man, I think he plays a lot. So here's the room. And you need more wide receivers, right? How many more wide receivers do you think we need? Hey, and Patriot Life with the super chat. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Let's see what Patriot Life has to say. You guys list the wide receivers. Patriot Life says this. Hey, Kyle, I saw your video last night thanking fans on the fan funders on your channel. We appreciate the dedication. Thank you, Patriot Life. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah. A lot of time, clearly goes into the YouTube channel, not only the graphics, but the on-air stuff. And this is the lane that I live in. And I try to, do the best that I can do on a daily basis and try to be there when the news breaks, whether I'm parenting or whether I'm, just lifing. But yeah, thank you so much, man. I always appreciate your support, bro. You've always been a real one, Patriot Life. Patriot Life is up in Chattanooga. Good dude, 100%. And Patriot Life is always, keep me posted on Miss Jenny too. Miss Jenny, who's battling cancer, who's the biggest Alabama football fan. So we're able to meet her a couple years ago, right now, Patriot Life. I think it'll be 2 years coming up in April since we last met Jenny. All right, so the wide receiver room, feel good about it. It's just you guys want 2 more wide receivers in. Makes total sense, right? Would have been nice to have little Tony Diaz in. Yeah, of course. But we got Lazier Brooks, all right? Lazier Brooks is he's that guy. And Bruce Williams in with the super chat. Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, 100%, man. Appreciate you being inside the comment box as well, man, and being a fan funder. Thank you so much. And if you are a fan funder, you get some behind-the-scenes videos like Patriot Life's talking about. I post them every once in a while, kind of like behind-the-scenes stuff. Okay, Lorcan Quinn. I need to update the special teams graphic, so I'll have that ready for my next show. I need to write that down. Scale of 1 to 10 on Lorcan Quinn. Man, it was weird. I just have to admit, like, these are, Bama football on YouTube confessions that I started to buy into Connor Talty towards the end of the year. The problem is this, and do you agree with me on this while you're answering 1 to 10 in terms of excitement for getting Lorcan? The Shamrock Sniper? Are you kidding me? Is that his real nickname, or did you come up with that? Dude, I love that. Oh, my goodness. The Shamrock Sniper. Oh, dog, that is good. I really hope you came up with that. I feel this way, fam. All right, as much as I started to kind of buy into Talty, I do feel that because he didn't have distance and he got shaky inside 40 yards and he was inconsistent in that area, I think it put a lot more pressure on Alabama's offense, right? Like Alabama, it felt like had to go. Remember that I can't remember what game it was, but Alabama like had to go for it on 4th and 6 just to get like 10 more yards for the guy. You look at like Oklahoma, they could press the ball down, I don't know, without as much pressure because they had, little booty shorts to hit a 50-yarder. Now, he was on the struggle bus against Alabama, but the guy had a leg, right? And I think having a guy who was 4 of 6 from 50 yards. Max Tooney says Lorcan had a 68-yarder in practice. Are you serious? Well, you know what? That sounds crazy, but if you've been watching the NFL, these guys are kicking 60-yard field goals all the time. And I was thinking watching the playoffs, I was like, what a luxury. What an absolute luxury for Ole Miss to have that kicker. That guy was money. So he comes in, the Shamrock Sniper. Who knows if he's going to be the guy I would imagine he's going to be, right? All right. So Shamrock is in. Okay. And then yesterday, you had Bray Hubbard. It was announced that he re-signed with Bama. I'm like you. I'm still getting used to like the re-signing deal. I don't know how to feel about it. It feels weird. Is this college or is this pro? Are we somewhere in between? It seems like we're more pro, to be honest, than we are college. But Bray Hubbard is that guy. He is a fan favorite. People love his game. People love who he is as a person. This guy is a leader. He's a veteran. He's what was he? Was he third team all SEC? I think he was third team all SEC. He's a pound for pound, probably the hardest hitter on the team. He's a player that has shown that he could take accountability when he doesn't perform at the highest marks and still represent the script A very well on the field. This was a big, comeback for Bama. I would be excited, for him coming back. Now, I'm going to talk about Keon Sabb in just a minute, and I want your take on that. But let's just say that Sabb leaves for right now. We got Zay Mincy, Ivan Taylor, Carmelo O'Neal, and Jeriah Edwards, right? These are the guys in the tank right here. And I have to tell you, I feel really good about those safeties. I mean, I think there'd be if I asked you right now, you probably feel that, Edwards gets on the field sooner than later. I think this guy could be a sleeper right here, Carmelo. He's got good length. Ivan Taylor, love his game. Zay Mincy, I mean, he's going to be a junior already, which is wild, right? So you got a host of safeties as well as somebody who we love and we're happy about, right? Re-signing. So Bray coming in adds a lot of veteran leadership and experience to that room. Big pickup and big re-sign for the Crimson Tide yesterday, right? So I guess my question is, when we're looking at players about if they could come, if they could go, where we're at, what do you think about these two? Because there hasn't been an announcement by Yay Alabama on these particular players. I think that we celebrate this W, if he comes back, as big as any other guy that we've signed. Like, this would be tremendous to get back Yanzi Pierre. Now, for a couple reasons. Yanzi Pierre, great edge rusher. I think he could be one of the better ones in the SEC, to be honest. His production last year was very solid. When he, overtook Quay's job, he was stellar, right? That position is also pretty thin. The Wolf position, behind him, I think you got Justin Hill, and they might have to move someone over there because you lost Noah Carter, right? And you lost Quay. And I don't know, Ja Latham, does he come back for a seventh year? I have no idea what the health status. I just hope that Ja Latham is okay because he had a neck. He could probably come back for a seventh year. I don't know like what the status is on him. But like Dontario says that Pierre's coming back. Ryan Harris loves his game. I do too. So just maybe they're waiting to announce this kind of on a larger stage, but I'm excited for the announcement. 1,000,000%. This is, in my mind, this is bigger than getting like a Cam Coleman. It doesn't feel like that because you already have him, but you're getting back like a NFL guy on your defense, right? And Tink asked a good question, and I'd like to ask you guys as well. Does Edwards play safety or does he play husky? I've been thinking about that too, Tink. And then we have Keon Sabb. How are we feeling about Keon Sabb? I mean, I showed you the safety room, right? I'll go back to it. I kind of feel indifferent about it. Got a lot of experience. He's pretty good. But do you think it's time for kind of some new life to get in there? How do you feel about Keon Sabb? I'm not saying like hate on the guy. But I'm like, if you don't think he's good and you think some of these guys would be better for the team, let me know. I kind of feel that way. I kind of feel like some of these guys might be ready to blossom and become a little bit, maybe more of a playmaker than Keon Sabb. What do y'all think? Think he goes to the NFL? I don't even know where he'd go. Like, is he a fourth-round guy? Is he a third-round guy? BJ saying Edwards at Husky. And you got Red Morgan there, right? Who starts, Red Morgan or Edwards? Because Red Morgan at the back end of the season was playing like his hair is on fire, man. Whew. Well, that dude, I have Kirkpatrick at Husky on the graphic sheet. And Short Game says Pierre is the most important. I agree, bro. Okay, so those are kind of announcements that we are waiting for with these two gentlemen, right? Here's a look at Alabama's defense. You guys tell me what changes you guys would make. I made a couple of adjustments from yesterday's show. We changed up some stuff with the defense. BA stands for Bandit. WO stands for Wolf. I think you guys should know the rest. H stands for Husky. If you think that maybe Edwards should start over Red Morgan, then put him there. I can kind of build out a different graphic sheet that has, um, a couple different names. And Landon, I'm going to go over that in my next segment. That's coming up next. Just kind of recapping after you got some additions and you got some re-signs. How you all feel about the defense right here? You like it? Any changes? The changes that I made, I put Jeremiah Beeman and Landon and Simmons as starters. I love Simmons' game. I think he's really good. And Beeman was, I think, on track. He just got banged up. Jan Pierre coming off the edge, and then Jordan Renaud, stellar, right? Hey, Barry, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Marlon likes Zay Mincy. DRTR says Keon made plays. Love a veteran, but I don't know if he has any eligibility left. Yeah, Keon Sabb can come back. Yeah. I got a quarterback question. Yeah, I'll take some questions here in a little while. I mean, I think with the quarterback, I think if Alabama had a game like today, the starter would be Austin Mack, right? I mean, that's the guy that they went with, in the Rose Bowl when that was the number 2 quarterback, clearly. But there's a lot of time from now into the season, and guys can develop. And I think they'll give those guys opportunities to command the offense, and whichever quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes, that'll be your starter. So this Saturday, Austin Mack's a starter. Going into spring football, I think they battle it out. The great thing that works out for Alabama is they don't have a spring football game, right? And on the screen, fam, the names are updated for what the player would be. So I might have to make a couple adjustments. Like, for example, like Xavier Brown, he'd be a junior, right? Red Morgan Jr. Sabb would be a redshirt senior if he came back. But I think, like, if, Alabama doesn't have to have these guys battle it out in a spring football game. You're just like, hey, we had practice, and it's going to be a position battle. Neither player can hit the portal, and they go in and just battle it out in August, and you see who the starter is, for the first game. Now, I am interested for the first time to see if a quarterback does get into trouble, like during the season, and this is talking way too far, but like if DeBoer would play, try to get a different quarterback in there just for like different momentum, because over the last 2 years he hasn't done that. But now these are quarterbacks that he specifically recruited. No, there's no A-Day anymore. There's no spring games. And I guess, you know what? This is interesting. I guess it hasn't officially been announced that there's no A-Day. In last year, I think one of the reasons that teams went away from it is because there was that portal window like the day after. I kind of just thought they went away from A-Day, but now that this is the final transfer portal window, what do you guys think? And by the way, it hasn't officially been announced. I was just thinking they kind of did away with it. Do you think there'll be an A-Day again this year? I hope there is. I loved A-Day. Right? There's the Morgan Wallen concert. I don't know. It would be nice to have like A-Day and then go right into the Morgan Wallen concert. Could they do that? Who's in favor of A-Day? I am. I say yeah. Because I think it provides a great fan experience. It's a time for people who can't afford to go to games. Like, you can go to the game. It's camaraderie for the fans, fellowship, right? The practice that they had was weird. I hated that thing. Yeah, I don't know. We'll dive into that. I don't know if they do the A-Day anymore, though. Virtual A-Day? Tink, what's up? All right, so I know someone asked about this, asking about kind of new names to know. Here are a couple names that have been on the board, all right, for Alabama. And if you have another name, throw it up. We'll dive into it, and we'll get it on the board if it makes sense, okay? All right, so Javon Campbell, right? He'd be like a bandit-type player. He's from Kentucky. You got Racing Delgatti, offensive lineman from Cal Poly. a little bit more experience too. Like Delgetti played in like, I don't know, 1,500 snaps at Cal Poly. I think that's where Josh Cuevas started out, right? Mekhi Frazier, running back. Haven't really heard too much more about him, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to keep him on the board or not. Christian Clark, this name looks interesting. We're on a dead period right now, which is the weirdest thing. Why are we on a dead period? Has anybody had time to think about that? Why are we on a dead period in the transfer portal for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? I'm dead serious. What is it? It is. I have no idea why we're on a dead period. You got Quay McBroom, offensive lineman out of Louisiana Monroe, has played a lot. I don't know. Look, this guy right here, Damon Wilson. You think Alabama's really in play for him? I saw a report that Alabama, maybe one of the type 3s. But man, I would imagine that this guy is expensive. And why would you get him when you have Yanzi Pierre, right? And Justin Hill? That's why it doesn't make sense to me. What do y'all think? And then this young man over here from Bucknell, have you guys dove into this? This man, I just put lineman. I didn't know what position because he plays offensive line and defensive line. And he's 6'8", 300 pounds. So, I mean, he's originally from Nigeria, and then I think he moved to the UK, and that's where he kind of started playing football. I have a friend actually from the UK, kind of similar experience. He's Cameroon. He's from Cameroon, and then he went to the UK, and then started playing football, and then he played in Miami, and now he lives in Tuscaloosa. He's one of my good boys, and he's still fast. He's one of the fastest dudes I've ever met. I'm dead serious. He sometimes on the channel. He played cornerback at Florida International, I think. Yeah, the dead period is so stupid. So, are there any other names? I think someone said Wilson. Who's? Did I miss one? Is there another name that should be added? Let me know inside the comment box and just pinpoint it to kind of the target areas. But before I leave this screen, is there what is a need that Alabama clearly Alabama has clearly said that they want a running back. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to be Christian or someone else, but they have made it clear that they want a running back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what other wide receivers have been targets. I'm sure those names will come up. I wouldn't mind getting a bandit in. Yeah, a couple more wide receivers. This big man right here, one of the two linemen. Chance says there is an elite player in there that are not one on this board. Who you got, Chance? And a lot of people calling for Jordan Seaton. I don't think that Jordan Seaton is realistic because of how much he wants, right? Yeah, see, Blackout wants Jordan Seaton. I don't think Jordan Seaton's in play. I think he's too expensive. Let's ask the fan base, Blackout. All right, so undefeated. Do you think that Jordan Seaton is in play for Alabama? Yes or no? Sound off inside the comment box. If you're a fan funder, use the Y emoji or use N. So Jordan Seaton, should we add him to the board? Do you think it's realistic? I'm down to add him if you think it's realistic. I don't. I mean, that's a lot of cash. But here's kind of the thing. If you were going to spend that amount, then do it on an offensive lineman. You got to think the offensive lineman that we have, though, right? Jordan Seaton is a top offensive lineman who was originally in play for Bama a couple years ago, and then he committed to Colorado. Yeah, so Daytona's saying $4 million. Ooh, shoot. Echoes, what's up, man? Portal closes on the 16th. That just means that's your last time to get your name in. But you can get players anytime thereafter. So we could be chilling for spring break, and Alabama gets a transfer. But I mean, if you're gonna spend money, spend it on linemen, in my opinion. I don't know. But look, if you guys really think that Seton should be added and you think it's realistic and there starts to be some movement there, I will 100% add him, because I'm not mad about a big time lineman coming in. I promise you. So I don't think it makes sense, but open to changing things up. Here's kind of where some of the players that Alabama has been in play for, where they went, just to kind of recap things. Got Jordan Ross. I don't think he ever took a visit here. Jimothy did, signed with Cal. Brock Riker, I think they offered him. Everybody offered that cat, and he signs with Penn State. Tony Diaz got offered by Bama, ended up signing with Iowa. Jacarius Peak was offered by Bama, never took a visit over here, and ended up signing with South Carolina. DJ Chester over here on the right, I think he officially signed with Mississippi State. Cam Coleman and Hollywood down here, you know where they went. So just kind of keeping track of like where guys went. I mean, you're going to get some, you're going to lose some. That's just kind of how the portal goes, right? All right. And I always come back to this graphic before we take your calls, which is coming up next. And just be thinking about, is the board upgrading or replacing? And I think for the most part, you're probably going to say replacing. But I do have to say this. With the special teams, you're upgrading. I think for sure you're upgrading in special teams. And let's face it, I think special teams could have been a lot better this year. The punter seems better. All we need from the punter is for him to be consistent, right? Blake Dowd had some good games, actually, and he pinned a lot of teams inside, the 20. But I think, like, you need a punter who is much more consistent. The kicker, if you can, it seems like Lorcan is just better than Connor Talty, okay? And you got a long snapper in. Is he better than David Byrd? I don't know. We'll have to find out. The biggest transfer in is clearly, at this point in time, Ty Haywood. And I'm asking you, do you have confidence in the evaluations of the coaches? I do. I looked at some of the players that they brought in and how they've had those guys kind of turn up over the last couple of years. Specifically, like some of the lesser-known guys, right? Like the 3 stars. I got 2 of them who are outstanding. And then it's kind of like right now, is it about veteran or bringing in freshmen? And I think for the first time in college football, because there's only one portal window, people feel that now the better way to recruit your team is by loading up on veterans. Who cares what their star status is, right? And just bringing in veterans, kind of like an older team, almost like a semi-pro team like Indiana's doing. And I think Alabama's going to have to switch things up in terms of, like, are we paying freshmen too much, right, to kind of sit and hope they develop? Because you're paying guys a lot that aren't playing right now. And I think they figured that out with like a Jalen Mbakwe, right? And then I think at the bottom part is like the biggest need right now. I'd still say another offensive lineman, some other wide receivers, and watch that wolf position, fam. You only got 2 guys right now. You got Deonze Pierre, who hasn't signed yet. I'm sure it sounds like you guys know he's going to sign. And then Justin Hill, and then, I don't know, maybe Xavier Griffin. Maybe he plays wolf. I don't know if that's been determined yet. But just kind of looking at his length and his frame and his athletic ability and watching tape on him, I think that he can make a good wolf player down the road. You just got to add more weight to him. He's way too light, right? Okay. Remember, video is powered by Sleeper, right? If you download the app, you just get a $20 entry upon downloading it. It's perfect for the NFL playoffs or for the upcoming college football championship game. Make more or less picks. You can run your fantasy football league through here. I use it all the time. I was a big fan of Sleeper. I love the interface. Makes sense to me. I download it, and it's been great. And also, you can do a $100 deposit and get a $100 match when you use the promo code, which is tailgate. Terms and conditions apply. Available in 25 states. Just download the app, Sleeper. Please support them as they support me, and I really appreciate you guys doing that. All right, so call online. And remember, if you called in yesterday, you're off today. So we do like kind of every other day because the show works better when we get more call volume in. I'm going to set up the call in line right now, and I appreciate you guys calling in, talking Alabama football with me. Remember, make your points. We can have some dialogue, but keep in mind that there's people behind you as well that want to get into the show. And so with that said, we'll load up the call in line, and I'll start that in just a second. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Yesterday was a fantastic day for Alabama football following, and that's like what we needed. Let's face it. I mean, it was bumpy there for the beginning of January, and I think that was a big boost in terms of momentum for the football team. Because even after the basketball team won, right, you were just like, oh my God, is this how this year's going to go? By the way, basketball in action tonight, taking on Mississippi State, right? All right. So just about to open the call line in 2 seconds, and then Bulldog sent one Bama football gift membership. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was just talking about Mississippi State. You know, I met someone a while ago and said, and I don't know if this is true, with those cowbells that they ring, that the cowbells are passed down like from generation to generation. Is that true? Like if somebody like has a cowbell, it's been given to you. Is that, I don't know. Is that true? All right. What's the status of Yanzi Pierre? I'll get to this before I take my first call. We don't know yet. We are waiting on Yanzi Pierre with a lot of anticipation. This is, I think, critical to get him re-signed. I'm sure it's going to happen at some point in time. Alabama's, probably just saving that news, but all signs are pointing to Yanzi Pierre returning and re-signing. So big news that we certainly should celebrate. So with that said, we'll take our first call, and we will take Jay in Pensacola. Hey, Jay, what's up, man? I appreciate you joining the show.
Hey, good morning, Kyle. How you doing today?
Good morning, brother. I appreciate it, man. Big news yesterday. So, it was Monster Monday, and, happy that we were able to cover it. A lot of guys coming in, man. But welcome to the show, man. Take it away.
I do feel like in certain areas we are replacing, but as far as first team goes, I do feel like we're upgrading. I do know we want to fire some of the coaches. Everybody mentioning Coach Cap.
Yeah, Coach Kapilovic, yeah.
But nobody's mentioned the special teams coach. Our special teams has been trash. But nobody mentioned him.
Yeah, Jay Nunez.
Yes, yeah. Nobody mentioned him at all. But I mean, he needs to be replaced too. What have our special team has done that has wowed anybody? Nothing. We had a punter that was half a half. Sometimes he did good, sometimes he didn't. Tony Conti, I mean, he came on at the end of the season. He done pretty good. I mean, like you said, he won me over towards the end of the season. I can't say that. He made me proud. But my thing is, Cal, I don't mind us getting any kid. But my thing is, when these players are not getting developed or not getting coached properly, it doesn't matter who we get. If they don't come in already developed, like a Jahmyr Gibbs came in developed already,
yeah,
like a Jamison Williams came in proven already. Because since Nick Saban, who has been there? I know it's been 2 years now, but can the boy really develop the kids? So okay, let me ask you this too, Kyle. So with Washington, he had a lot of success. I know it's the Pac-12, But he had a lot of success with 3 stars, 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the same similar thing the Indiana's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He had success like that with 3 stars.
Mm-hmm.
But and we all was excited when he came over here because we had a whole bunch of 5 stars and a whole bunch of superstars. But like, what in your mind would be the difference in, I guess he didn't recruit these players,
Yeah.
but that's how I got. Kyle, I let you answer on the line, Kyle. I appreciate you, Kyle. I love you, Kyle. God's the greatest.
All right, man. Take it easy, bro. That's Jay's sign out. He started this a while ago. He says God's the greatest, which is amazing. I love that. And Jay, I think this, bro. The call line open 205-850-1994. We got 256 coming up next. And then now's a good time to call in, by the way. I think the biggest thing with Coach DeBoer, he had 3 stars, 4 stars at Washington. Why did that translate into success at Washington? And over here, has he been on the struggle bus? I mean, you look at the fact that he's won 20 games. You look at the fact that he's lost 8 games. The biggest thing is, and we're still, and DeBoer won those games, right, in a time before this new world of college football, right? We entered this new world of college football where there's so much more parity. And now with him being in the SEC, I think that has a lot to do with it. Just because the SEC is a gauntlet. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter who Texas gets. Like, they're not just going to run over everybody, right? I don't think they're going to be next year's Indiana, are they? It takes a lot to kind of build on that cohesiveness, too. You can buy a team, but can you build that cohesiveness? I don't know. But I think a big reason is that DeBoer is battling in the SEC. I mean, he did reach the SEC championship game, which is still amazing to me, considering you really couldn't run the ball. And I think Lance is coming up, and he's like, DeBoer's inconsistent. I think so. And you look to last year, they were inconsistent. That was the biggest thing, that you didn't know where this team was going to be, but they still won games. Now, they were pretty injured by the end of the season, but they were completely healthy against Indiana and just got blown out, right? And I don't want to hear inside the comment box be like, well, Oregon got blown out too. You want to be that, you want that to be the new standard? Be like, well, they got blown out, so we got blown out too. So we're, no, you equally as bad. 256.
Hey, this is Lynn from Alabama.
Hey, Lynn, welcome to the show.
Jacksonville, Alabama. Hey, nice to meet you. I watch you every day, but I just hadn't called ever again. But I tell you what I want to think about is this right here, and you may not like this. I think we should get rid of the head coach. I'll just be honest with you. He's too powder puff. Mm-hmm. He's not a Saban, which we're not going to, I guess, ever find again. But I'm going to tell you something. Watching Indiana play, they are tough, and we couldn't be on the field with them. I mean, just to be honest, and I've been a fan since I was born, I guess. But, I like your show, and I like to hear what people say, but let's just hit it on the head and get rid of him. I don't know what it takes. And, Lane Kiffin was out there. He could have made Alabama into something. He wanted to come to Alabama. Everybody knew it. People don't like him because of whatever happened between he and Saban. Mm-hmm. But Saban's over. He's not coming back. Mm-hmm. And that's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Lynn, let me ask you a question. When you're watching this Indiana team, right? You see kind of this Indiana team, and I think it reminds a lot of Alabama football fans of like teams from the past, but specifically talking about Cignetti. I think a lot of fans, they like the fact that Cignetti got madder and madder as the team was pulling away from Oregon, right? Is like, and that kind of reminded us of that dog mentality. Is like, yo, just step on the throat until the game is over. Did that resonate with you as well as a fan? Like, you like Cignetti because of that?
Yes, I don't like to give up. I mean, I saw it even with Saban where we would slack down, back off. But you can look at our defense even. Everybody talked about defense and all. it's not a great defense. Womack is not a great coach. So I don't particularly care for him. The offensive line sucked, and I'm sorry to say that, but it sucked. Ty could have probably been a lot better if we'd had somebody in front of him to keep him from getting in there. He couldn't even. He was great at reading the defense and reading the offense. The defense coming at us. But I'm gonna tell you something, and y'all mentioned about Jalen. He couldn't read a defense if you put it in front of him and pointed it out. He couldn't read it. Going back, and so I think that was the reason that Saban left. I don't think it was anything else. He didn't want one more year of him. And y'all may think I'm wrong. I think he liked him as a person, but Jalen played when he wanted to play, didn't play when he didn't want to play. And that's just how I feel. I'm sorry, and I'm not going to stay on on this line and keep people from calling in, but I'm going to tell you something. You're doing a great job. I enjoy watching you, listening to you. But these people that he's pulling in, DeBoer's getting, it's just a space. They're just covering the space. He's not getting the places that we need, I don't think. And they're not going to come to him. They know how soft he is. They've seen it. Practicing in the morning in Alabama doesn't do it.
Thanks for the call, Lynn. I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the show as well.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right. Lynn with she's at it from up. She just went straight up top, all right, from the top rope. So first of all, I think there's a lot of fans that do feel that way because what we went through was like just such a cosmic change, right? I think that the way that I've seen it is surprisingly, because I'm like, you know how I am. Like I'm kind of more like Saban than DeBoer, right? But I do feel that I zoom out and he has taken steps forward, right? But this year is going to be critical if Alabama doesn't, make the SEC championship again. If they don't make, 11 or 12 games, if they can't commit to running the football, if they don't have a pass rush, and if we see the same things with Ryan Grubb. And I think that the closer Ryan Grubb stays to DeBoer, and if Grubb doesn't have a big jump forward, the seat's going to warm up. Because fans, I think that right now, you're like, okay, 2 years, won 20 games, lost 8. We understand that there's more parity right now. But this next year, if Alabama, let's say, doesn't make the playoffs or wherever we're at, fans are going to be upset. They're going to start being like, okay, well, then you make changes. And the other thing is like 93% of you feel that there needs to be staff changes. And DeBoer hasn't done that. So fans want, take more steps forward. This is Alabama football. All right, 334.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
This is Quentin. I have a 334 number. I'm from Montgomery originally, but I live in Northwest Arkansas.
Okay, man. What's up, bro? I appreciate you. I appreciate you, bro.
No problem. I tune in from time to time, but I think the fans just need to kind of calm down.
Mm-hmm.
One, DeBoer's trending similar to Saban. First year was kind of tough, 76 record. The following year fell short in the SEC championship. And the third year is when the roof came off.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if we kind of look at that, DeBoer's trending in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
My second point is that DeBoer in year 3 is going to put everything together. First year, Nick Sheridan, he did a lot with the running game. The passing game was kind of faulty because of Jalen Milroe's ability to read the mid-range passes. Big arm can get down the field, but that was the fall when it comes to the offense the first year. Second year, we developed a mid-range game, and we had a long game prior to. You can see the difference between time the beginning of the season versus the middle and the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if he really wasn't like injured or like hurt, the game would have been a little bit different. But we didn't have a run game. So I think year 3, you'll see a difference because now the boy understands his weakness. He made a statement and said, "Hey, I see the difference between a playoff team and a national championship team." And that was after the loss against Indiana. So understanding that there has been a huge emphasis on the trenches. Third, I think the thing that's not being spoken about is even though everyone's criticizing Womack, I applaud him because from year 1 to year 2, you've seen the improvement when it came to stopping the run. And then also, too, when it came to stopping the run, the second year is much improved. Third year, we're going to be – I think the defense is going to be good, especially having Bray back there. Hopefully you get Sab and then have Yancey Pierre in front. So I think year 3, if everyone just remain positive, stay calm, understand that losing Smothers, even though it would have been nice to have him, you still got A.K. Deere, you still got Daniel Hill, you still have Kevin Rowley. Have we heard anything on Dre Washington?
Jay Washington is out of eligibility, so he moves on.
But either way, and then you got the coveted 5-star coming from Jackson. So, you know, I think that if everyone just kind of pipe down a little bit, we'll be fine. I think the biggest improvement is getting a complementary piece for Lunzi, for Lottie, and for Ryan at receiver, getting Noah. So now you got a good rotation of 6 and, you know, add maybe like 1 or 2 more receivers. So I think we'll be fine next year. I think next year will be a national championship run in the year, to be honest. I mean, you got 2 great quarterbacks. I feel like Austin Mack will more than likely get the start. But I think next year, if he doesn't provide the explosiveness and what they're looking for, I think it'll be much more easier to pull him versus what they had with Ty and what they had Jalen. I think, again, that was that loyalty situation where you didn't want to upset the fan base, but also, too, you had to respect the fact that Ty was all Alabama. I mean, even when you look at the $6.5 million plus they're throwing at him right now to stay in school, he's still remaining loyal to Alabama and just by going to the draft. So, you know, those are my points. I appreciate your show. Between you and Coach Smook, I enjoy watching you all show. So stay up and continue to exercise and roll tide.
All right, take it easy, Q. Have a good day, bro. Great call. Yeah, that was Q calling out of Montgomery, Northwest Arkansas. So yeah, great call. I think the biggest point that Q had for me was I think a lot of people forget about the defense, that they made big strides because of that last game against Indiana, right? Indiana's running through everybody, but collectively, what was the biggest issue last year with the defense? The biggest issue was that the defense couldn't stop the run, that you could get these long chunk yardage plays and you could run whenever you wanted against Alabama. All that changed this year. They took major steps forward. And then where they took phenomenal steps forward is as a secondary grew, they became fantastic. I mean, they finished number 9 in the country. So, and I get it. You turn on the Indiana game, the secondaries, had a tough time. I mean, but those wide receivers that Indiana has and all of them are NFL wide receivers. Omar Jr., Surratt, and Charlie Becker. What are you going to do? But collectively, those guys did a great job. And I think it's Mo Lindquist, Kane Womack. Those guys did a great job with the defense. So now the focus kind of turns to offense, and I would imagine that's kind of where you want to see staff changes made, specifically with the offensive line, right? And if anything that you can agree with what Ms. Lynn said calling in earlier in the program is the offensive line wasn't it. It wasn't dominating. It wasn't an offensive line from the past. And I think if I asked each one of you where do changes need to be made, you would say offensive line coach. I think that's what everybody would say. 251. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is Rusty from Gulf Shores.
Hey, Rusty.
Hey, man, just kind of follow. Hey, I agree with. I think I agree with the other caller. I mean, I really only have two things to say. One of them is addressing your Wake Up Bama. You were talking about the portal versus recruiting versus like where you're putting your money at or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate to say it. I think this is going to kind of really, really hurt the high school ranks. I mean, I think that a lot of these programs, if they're going to invest that kind of money, they're going to want some type of experience. You'll still get your outstanding 5-stars, but I mean, I really don't think it's a safe bet anymore doing that. I think the money should be spent like looking at JUCO colleges or whatever. So that's kind of my first take on that. As far as our running game, I think the biggest problem that I saw with our running game this year is there's no lateral movement. I think that comes down on the offensive line coach. We didn't pull guards a lot. We'd put in a heavy set or we'd put in a tight end. And if you're not going to get creative on the line of scrimmage, and that's not like saying trick plays or anything like that, but like you're doing the trick plays with your skill players. I mean, maybe invest with like teaching your guards to pull a little bit more. That way you can go to a set, not throw a tight end in there, let your guard pull, and you're still accomplishing spreading the field. I mean, when you're bunching everybody in like that, they know that you're going to run, you know? So anyway, dude, hey, that's my take. You're doing an outstanding job. Appreciate it. You have a blessed day.
All right, take it easy, Rusty. I really appreciate the call. Thanks for calling in from Gold Shores. I asked a poll question. Rusty made my ears perk up, and I was talking about it on the Wake Up Bama podcast as well. What is more important? And I get it. We're like in transfer portal combat right now, so it's like, get them all. I think now we've changed. I mean, I was laughing yesterday, and 540 Major. We'll take your call in just a minute. I was laughing yesterday. I was like, we were getting mad about 5-stars, and we want like 3-stars from the transfer portal, right? Like proven guys that aren't going to cost that much. It's everything is changing. I mean, not only the parity in football and like Indiana playing for a championship, but like also how you build your roster. I mean, that's why Saban jumped out of the airplane. He saw this. Coach Saban, it was like he had it was like he was reading a book, and he turned it to the last page, and he's like, this is what's going to happen. He was like, and he just ejected out of the plane, right? He wasn't going to deal with this stuff. Would he have been competitive coaching? Of course. But dealing with where you're at right now, no way. And I think Alabama right now is going to have to switch gears. So this coming recruiting cycle, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm talking 27, 28. Like, do you go all in and spend $5 million, $4 million on these top-level prospects, or do you kind of position that out and get maybe 10 really good proven players that you have no idea if they're even in the portal yet, and just kind of save that money and then allocate it in the transfer portal so you can start to compete more with Texas, Oregon, Miami, whoever it is. And everybody's starting to do their thing. Like Texas, they just have more money. Miami's like, we're going to save all our money. We're just going to get the best transfer portal quarterback. Indiana, they're going to work with, kind of the 3- and 4-star underrated guys and build them up. What is Bama going to do? Bama can't continue to pay high school recruits whatever and just hope that they develop and they stay here. That doesn't exist anymore. And what's scary is you pay these high school recruits and they're here and they're getting paid, and then they're like, you know what? I'm not playing. I can go play somewhere else and I'm going to get more money. It's crazy. All right. We got Major. Major, what's up, man?
Hey, Kaya, how you doing?
Good. Welcome to the show.
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Come on.
I was listening to other lady that was talking. When Nick Saban retired, he was looking for a good coach, and he went to Kalen the boy. And, I mean, he wins everywhere where he plays. I mean, me and my dad were talking. I was afraid he was going to get fired this year. And I don't know. What do you think about it?
About Coach getting fired this past year? Like if he didn't win that Auburn game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me ask the community. Do you think, fam, that Coach Kalen DeBoer would have been fired if he didn't win the Auburn game this season? I don't know. I kind of do. Do you guys think that? I don't know. I kind of think we were trending in that right direction because you would have missed the playoffs again.
Yeah. And, Nick Saban had to choose a coach, and why did he choose Kalen DeBoer? And you have to look at what Nick Saban did. What's that, Kyle? My bad.
No, go ahead, man. Finish out.
You have to look at what Nick Saban did for the past couple years he was coaching. He didn't win a lot of like championships and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he get all these players, Alabama developed. So I wonder if he's gonna give another year. I think Kalen DeBoer is gonna be better next year
Mm-hmm.
and see what they can do. If he's not better, I think they're gonna have to find a new coach. Because I don't think this is Alabama.
Anything else? Anything else you got, Major?
Sir, that was it. Thank you for letting me join.
All right, take it easy, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Major, calling in with the call, talking. He's I don't know. I'm asking the comment box, and a lot of you are actually saying no, that Coach Kalen DeBoer would not have been fired if they didn't win Auburn. I don't know, fam. I think that if they would have finished out, let's see, they would have been 8-4, missed the playoffs, played in some weird bowl game. I think there would have been more players that hit the transfer portal. I think it would have been way worse because look how much the brand took a hit by losing against Indiana, right? I think that I think he would have, but you know what? Veteran with a really good point. The players do really love Coach Kalen DeBoer, right? That's an interesting point, Veteran. I appreciate it, man. All right, it looks like 737. Hey, Mike, the connection's really terrible. It's like sounds super staticky. Call back again. 334. Hey, welcome to the program. I'm Kyle Henderson, who I'm online with, and where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Dothan, Alabama.
All right, and what was your name?
Teron Reynolds.
All right, what's up, Teron? Come with it, bro.
Man, I watch your show all the time, and I love it, man. I love your intel. I love everything you do for us Alabama fans, but I got one thing to say. I mean, we got to be, as fans, we got to be a little patient. I mean, I love what Kalen DeBoer is doing for our team. You know, the you make the playoffs your second year, you know, everything is, you know, we got to be a little patient. You know, I know that beat down from Indiana put a sour taste in our mouth, but I think DeBoer is going to adjust. I really think he's going to adjust. I think with the offensive lineman we picked up from the portal, I think everything is finna be on point. So,
Tyrone,
you know, we got to be a little patient.
I appreciate the call. I have a question. Do you think it's because we're in the society of like right now? You know what I'm saying? Like Amazon, I want it right now. If it's not in my mailbox, I'm going online and complaining. It's like there's no more patience, and I think that is part of it. Also, the standard of Alabama is just like national championship where you're fired, which is crazy.
Right.
Even Coach Saban said that was crazy, and Pat McAfee was like, "Well, you created it." But,
he did,
right?
He definitely did.
I know. So, okay. So Tyrone's calling about more patience for Coach. What about? How do you feel about some of the coaching staff adjustments? Do you think there should be some adjustments there, or do you think that we should be more patient with like even somebody like as controversial right now as Ryan Grubb? How you seeing that, Tyrone?
Well, we got to be a little bit more disciplined. So if they can't provide, if Grubb can't provide the discipline that we need, especially the standard we used to seeing, then I think the board may need to reevaluate his staff, especially the offensive line coach. Now that was just, that was atrocious. I don't know, man. I'm not used to Alabama offensive line, you know, giving up so many sacks. We can't run the football. Like that's not the Alabama standard.
Yeah. I think as Alabama fans, they might be split on a couple things, but you got to run all Alabama fans want you to run the football. That's one thing that we can all agree on. I haven't heard anybody ever call in and be like, the run game doesn't matter. Yes, it does. The run game.
It does.
The run game matters. If we know anything in life, and there's a lot of questions out there that we still don't know, we know that you have to run the ball to win football games, right? Cool.
Exactly.
Anything else, Tyrone?
I got one more thing.
Okay.
I don't think AK Deer got his. I don't think he got his shot like he should have.
Yeah.
I feel like AK Deer should have got way more carries. Maybe his pass protection is a little bad, but he should have got way more carries. I like AK Deer.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do. I do too. We saw him in that Louisiana Monroe game, and I know the competition, but I was like, whoa, yo, some guys just got it, right? You give him the football and things change. I'm still kind of scratching my head to why he didn't have more carries as well, because you gave Kevin Riley opportunities, and was there a big difference between Riley and AK Deer? Maybe you're saying like the pass protection that we really don't know,
Right.
But I thought AK should have played more. People still call him for AK.
Yes. Now he runs hard, real hard,
and he's fast, right?
The few carries I've seen him, he runs hard.
I know. That's why I thought, like, you got a guy like Hollywood who, look, his tape was great, but I was like, man, Kevin Riley and AK Deer are similar type backs. They just, they're in development, but maybe this coming year we already have guys like that. So,
right,
and they're already on the team. So, anyways, all right, appreciate the call from Dothan, man. Appreciate it. Calling again.
All right, thank you.
Yep, see ya.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can take Mike. Hey, Mike, that sounds better, man. Welcome to the show.
Good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Good.
much better.
Kyle.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm out here in the sticks, man. I'll tell you, my Wi-Fi here is so slow. If the world ended, I wouldn't know it till next week, man.
Wait,
that's how slow things go.
Well, you said last time that you had internet, but did you have does anyone have Starlink? Is that like a thing? What is Starlink, like a satellite internet? You just like, can anybody subscribe to Starlink? I don't know.
I think so, yeah. But I think Starlink's more for like developing areas than where Elon Musk is the one that does that, where he owns Starlink and he puts these satellites to provide internet service for like war zones and developed, undeveloped areas, underserved countries and stuff. But no, here I have regular internet, man. But it might as well be 2 cups and a string. You know what I mean? That's how slow it is. But it's all good. I love it, dude. It's from Austin to here, man. It's day and night different, dude. Because it's just so peaceful here. But Kyle, I got to just say something real quick, man. Is this the new standard now, dude? If our coach doesn't win the national championship in 2 years, we want to fire him? Is that the new standard? Is that the standard? I mean, it kind of like this last guy said, Saban's last, or the guy before last, Saban's last 2 years, we struggled, man. We barely won a lot of them games. There's a reason he left. We struggled. So, but this is the deal. If our new standard is you got 2 years or you're fired, you know what that's going to get us, Kyle? We're going to be the new Auburn. That's what they do, man. They panic on their coaches every 2 or 3 years, and Mr. Yellowwood fires them. I mean, we got to be better, dude. And I got to remind people, man, we did finish #1 regular season in the SEC. I know we got beat in the championship. We finished #1 regular season SEC. We got the #1 recruiting class in the SEC. And to answer your poll question, I think that, I don't know because I'm old school, but I think a recruiting base means more than portals. I think the recruits are your cake. The portal's the icing on top, the quarterback, the cherry on top, the skilled players, whatever. I'm still a believer you got to get the core of your team from recruiting, which we are doing that. We got the #1 recruiting class. But, Kyle, I tell you what, man, another thing, like you already know this, you've already mentioned this, other people have too. Saban's been around, been a coach of Alabama for 15, 18 years or whatever. Dude, people, that's all they know. Like me, and they expect national championships every year. And honestly, I became a spoiled Bama fan, where I did too. Every year I looked at our roster and I thought, yeah, we're going to win the national championship. We should be competing for it at least. But dude, all I know is this, man. If we're going to give our coach 2 years and fire him, we're going to be the next Auburn, dude. So we really got to watch out for that slippery slope. But as far as staff moves, now staffing coaches and getting new staff, that's the name of the game. Assistant coaches leave, assistant coaches show up, they get opportunities to produce something else.
Yeah.
They want. I believe that's the name of the game. So that can change. We need an offensive, line coach. Okay, so be it. But we got to stick with our coach, man. We can't just fire him every year we don't win the national championship. I know it ended bad, but overall, we took a step forward from last year, and who knows what this portal is going to be, dude. You got some of these players I'm looking at, all they do is go. Some of them aren't even to 3-14.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not loyal. I don't know why they're leaving, but they're not loyal to us, and we're not loyal to them. And I don't know how much they actually contribute or not, to be honest with you. But man, I'm along with some of these callers. Let's give our coach more than 2 years before we start wanting to fire the dude. That's just my personal opinion. Let's at least give him 2 years and 2 games, All right, Kyle. That's my rant for the day, brother, man.
See you, Mike. Take it easy, man. Good call. All right.
All right.
That's a really good point about becoming the new Auburn, right? Don't win games, fire, coach. Don't win games, fire. And he brings up a good point. What you do is you assess your coaching staff, right? And you make adjustments there. I'm not mad at that point at all. I thought that was pretty good, thought process because, one program that's hanging on to their coach too, and it's expensive too to get rid of your coach, right? You don't just erase all your problems, right? Like Florida State, right? Like they're just hanging on to Mike Norvell, and let's see how this year goes for them. Man, could you imagine? Because Florida State thought 1,000,000% that they were going to fire Norvell. And then the administration was like, well, no, we're not. He's not leaving. He's coming back. And maybe they can turn around. I don't know. But Alabama's in a way better place than Florida State. And ironically, Florida State beat Alabama before they completely crashed. I've never seen a program have a bigger crash out than Florida State. Biggest crash out ever. All right, 480. Hey, welcome to the program.
Man, I'm in full agreement. I'm full agreement with Mike to some degree. I think this is just one of these situations, a healthy balance. We have to go recruit. That goes without saying. But let's be honest. Who was the best recruit we had last year on the field, game in and game out?
Like this past season?
Lasier Brooks.
This past season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Lasier.
Yep.
3-star.
Yeah.
Most people in the country didn't even know who this dude was.
Yeah.
And so we have to find that healthy balance, which is what we're kind of doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to acknowledge that we still don't have his full roster packed.
Mm-hmm.
Like this coaching staff still doesn't have their guys. They still have some residue from Nick Saban, the greatest coach ever. It goes without saying. There were some down years. Those last couple of years weren't to our expectation, weren't up to Nick Saban's expectation. The matter is, this is a big reason why he walked away. We're in a transition. We are playing. College football is minor league sports now.
Mm-hmm.
This is a year-to-year contract.
Yeah.
It's funny. I listen to you every single day where you say, literally, is this what we're announcing every day? We signed a kid who said, I'm going to be here for 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got to find those guys. Like, I was embarrassed by what Indiana did. I was in shock. But then I just laughed because they have a commitment level based off of 2- and 3-star athletes. Yeah, they're going to start getting better athletes, better 5-stars and things of that nature. But the reality of the situation, the best team in college football right now is an old school football team. Yeah, he went into the transfer portal and got a bunch of those guys, but they're not 5-stars. Putting your team with nothing but 5-stars and getting excited in the preseason and saying, oh, wow, man, look at our number 1 class. What does it all mean if they all leave the next year?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where we're at. You got to find that balance. We got to find those 3-stars or those 2-stars, some diamonds in the rough. Get you some 5-stars that are committed, and then you're going to have to play the portal game because it is minor league. We're paying these kids $5 and $6. They talking about $6.5 million for Ty Simpson.
Crazy, right?
Love Ty Simpson, but $6.5 million.
That's a lot of cheddar. And I was thinking about that too. I was like, okay. Because I said a million times, I was like, Ty is going to the NFL. I did not think about that some team would offer him, like $4 million is a lot, right? That's a lot. 6.5, I mean, if you
Absolutely.
don't make it in the first round, that could be your second round contract. And then plus, look, if that's guaranteed money and he goes to Miami and he has a successful season, then he can just go and get even more money, being maybe a first round pick or a second round, right? You see what I'm saying? But by the way, I didn't catch your name and where you're calling out of.
It's Cold World. I'm calling out of AZ. I spoke to you a few weeks ago before
Okay.
playoffs
Yeah,
started.
yeah. All right. Yeah.
Calling out out of Maricopa.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just we all have to adapt. It's a new day and age.
Mhm.
It's a transition. It's uncomfortable. It's awkward. Nobody likes change, but
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
100%.
Where everything is new.
Yep.
And so we as Alabama fans can't hold on to the past and just sit there and say, "Oh man, the good old days." The good old days are gone. This is a new day, and we either gonna be with it and ride with it and accept. And hopefully, we have the right coaching staff, which I believe we do. We have Courtney Morgan, who's a great GM, is going to get us back on footing. But if we have the expectation that we're going back to the Nick Saban area where we're winning every year or every other year,
Yeah.
them days are gone with the way things is.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I know, man. It is. Things are absolutely crazy, man. Good call from Maricopa, man. I appreciate it, man. Enjoy the weather out there.
Absolutely. Peace and blessings to you,
Yeah,
brother.
you too, man. All right. Arizona sounds nice right now. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, over here in Tuscaloosa, it's 50. This morning, it was like 20 some. All right. It gets cold in Tuscaloosa, believe it or not. It really does. Like, I get it. The summers here are just unbelievably hot, but it gets cold. I think it's because of the humidity that's out here. I don't know. 404. Hey, I appreciate the call, and thanks for calling in. Who I'm on line with and where you calling in from?
What's up, Cal? It's E-Man.
What's up, E-Man? E-Man calling from the ATL, man. Welcome on in, bro.
Hey, man, you already know. How you feeling today, Cal?
I'm feeling great. I mean, I'm always feeling good. And I think sometimes we have to do kind of like portal therapy and talk about kind of where things are at and kind of make sense of it all, because it is like our last caller was saying, it's confusing and things have completely changed. And now that you have this portal, I think people are viewing, if you don't get the top guy in the portal, your team's going to suck. No, that means that you spent the most money. And think about this. The people who spend the most money in life are not necessarily living the best life. It's about being like financially responsible. You ever met somebody who's like really financially responsible? That's a good life. So it's like making sense of it all. Just because you have it doesn't mean you have to spend it. And if you have it, you got to spend it wisely. And you got to be able to invest and make some, moves. So I don't know, man. It's ever changing, man. But with that said, welcome to the show, E-Man.
Hey, I appreciate that, Cal. Hey, a couple callers ago, you had a guy call. I think he said Tyrone. I be calling from Atlanta, but originally I'm from Alabama, from Dothan, Alabama, man. So I heard Tyrone say he was in Dothan. Shout out Dothan, man. Shout out to Dak. But Cal, man, we done had a lot of doom and gloom callers. And let me start by saying, roll tide, of course, everything roll tide. But let me start by saying, man, like, we are in a unique position as Alabama fans. We're super spoiled, super entitled, and super finicky, to the point where it's like I think I seen Wade said it in the chat. Like, I understand what other people say about our fan bases at times. Like, I try to put up, like, defend and not really tolerate any slander for the Alabama fan base, but I kind of get it. Like, why are we complaining about a very good coach that we have? You know what I'm saying? I won't say we've got elite results yet, but we got a great coach. He's been plotting on and tried to get and poached, like 3 times this year. We got top program, Power 4 programs want him. This is all not for naught. Like, all of this stuff is for a reason, because he's a good coach with great credentials, and players really rallied around him and all that good stuff, etc. But we're in a unique situation where we had Bear Bryant. Nobody ever thought we'd have another Bear Bryant winning the championships and the run that he went on. We end up having Nick Saban for 17 years, which in the modern era of college football and sports in general is not something that you see a lot. So we've been blessed. Like, let's just accept that we've been blessed and thank God for those blessings and move on past this era of Saban wouldn't have did this and Saban wouldn't have did that, and I can't believe Saban. Like, okay, let's let Nick Saban ride off into the sunset. This is why I hate that we have so many bandwagon fans that can only reference anything from the Saban era. Alabama did not start and end with Nick Saban. So, like, can we please get Saban is the GOAT. I'm not going to ever say he's not, but can we please let Nick Saban and Miss Terry ride off into the sunset? They still rub Alabama. They still love the program. But we got to let the old days go and all those golden years. We got to let that go, man. Nick Saban, I think a part of Nick Saban leaving college football is because he did see the climate and what was going on with college football, and he understood how it was going to look in 2025, 2026, and what we're living in right now. So, yeah, I think that was a great deterrence for him to go ahead and turn away from college football and retire. But this is what we're in now. You know what I'm saying? The portal predates NIL, but, like, the portal is used with a lot less restrictions and everything now, but this is the time we're in right now. All we can do is embrace what we in and allow our coaches to maneuver the way they think they need to. Like I said, I agree. Like you said, Cal, I agree with us. We don't need to spend $30, $40 million on players that's either going to be here for 1 year and then go to the NFL, or if something don't happen, they don't like, they're going to leave. We don't want a team full of mercenaries, man. We want a team that has a clear identity and they have a clear program and something to buy into. Oh, yeah, I just seen somebody in the chat say Gene Stallings. Yeah, Gene Stallings is in there. He 1-1 too. Mm-hmm. But like I was saying, we got to go ahead and let our coaches, like you said, we got the #1 recruiting class. They're doing what they're supposed to do on the coaches' end. We can't worry so much about players that's trying to get in the portal and do all this because, as you can see, they're in the portal from another team, which shows you right there they don't mind leaving. They don't mind jumping ship. We already had enough of that, especially in the years right after Nick Saban. We need to just let the portal situations be the portal situations. I'm not interested in $10 million guys who just want to get a payday real quick before they go to the NFL. We want guys that's bought in. We want guys that's going to actually play for the script A. And more importantly, we need guys that's going to actually be for our coach and they're not able to be shopped around and looking around all the time when something's going on. So, number one for our fans, we got to kill the noise and the rhetoric that we hear from everybody else. Oh, Nick Saban. Miss Lynn, no disrespect. I love my elders. But Nick Saban ain't leave because of Jalen Milroe or nothing that was going on with the team per se. He left because of the climate of college football. But I digress, Kyle. I ain't trying to talk your head off, but our fans need to tighten up, man. And I'm almost like, if you wasn't a fan before 07, we don't need you because these fans, they in here talking crazy. They're talking about fire the coach. Who we going to hire? There's not great, just a plethora of great candidates for coaching out. Like, who are we going to hire, y'all? Like, what are we talking about? Fire him and get somebody. Like, who are we going to hire, bro? We don't have any great candidates that's better than him out there. We just won 11 games without a run game. We were hobbled, and he helped us. I mean, he led us to 11 games, guys. Like, let's just take the good with the good, take the bad with a grain of salt. We got to reload. We got to do what we got to do. We Alabama, man. We was Alabama before Nick Saban. We was Alabama before all of that. So we got to just remain Alabama, remain calm. You know what I'm saying? Just, keep it moving, man. But all this doom and gloom and fire everybody and get rid of this guy, they tripping, man. They tripping, Cal. But that's all I really care. I'm on my lunch break. That's all I really came to say, Cal. They tripping, man. We got to weed out the haters. We got some secret Auburn fans and secret other fans in here talking crazy because our chat don't usually be this doom and gloom like that. But that's I'm getting off the soapbox, Kyle. That's all I wanted to say.
Good to hear from you, man.
Louise, man. What a real Alabama fan.
Yeah, blessings to you. And you got a daughter, right?
I do. I got 3 little girls, actually, Kyle, and I appreciate you saying happy birthday to my other daughter.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Eve,
yeah,
man.
it was her birthday.
Got a real kick out of that.
Yeah, that's good. All right, well, call in again when your other daughters have their birthdays, and I'll give them shout-outs too.
My dog, roll tide.
All right,
happy
take it
New
easy.
Year, man.
All right, man.
Shout out to your family, man. Love you, bro.
See you. Love you too, E-Man. Take it easy, dog. All right, yeah. Remember who was on when E-Man called and we gave a shout-out to his daughter for her birthday? Girl Dad Life goes hard. All right, 803. Hey, welcome to the program.
Hello?
Yeah, who am I on line with and where you calling in from?
JT from South Carolina.
What's up, JT? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing amazing. I mean, I woke up. It's a Tuesday, so, Gotta be grateful for waking up, right?
That's right, man. That's right. That's always a good start to the day, right? As you wake up and you're like, okay, a blessing has been granted. I think we need to start doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You wake up, seriously, you wake up and you're like, okay, another opportunity. Let's do this. Let's get this right. So, JT, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
I promise you that.
Yeah, 100%, man. Welcome to the show, bro. Come with it.
First, I had like a feeling that Ty Simpson was going to go to the NFL, but, he had to go regardless. I mean, I already know all this happened, but, I ain't never got a chance to come on the show. But, he had to go regardless. I mean, he was a good quarterback, but, people got to understand that Austin Mack came there for no reason. Mm-hmm. And then, Keelan Russell, I hope he don't transfer, even though I know he's going to sign that deal. But I'm just saying that, 9 times out of 10, when this season starts, Austin Mack's going to be the quarterback. And he might feel a type of way, about sitting out this year, unless Austin Mack get injured. So, I want you to tell me what your input on that.
Yeah, I think like anytime you start talking about the quarterback situation, people start getting uncomfortable because each of these guys signed, and Austin Mack wouldn't have re-signed if he didn't think that he was going to be the quarterback. And Keelan Russell,
exactly.
Right? And Keelan Russell, it's wild. Like we see him and what we saw from him, you're like, wow, that guy has it, right? And I think it's with.
And what's crazy? Yeah, go ahead. I ain't gonna cut you off. I'm sorry.
Well, I think like because someone asked me earlier about who would be the quarterback, and I think this weekend Austin Mack, he would be the starter, right? But I think in terms of development, as we go forward and Keelan Russell develops more, maybe puts on a little bit more weight, starts to get more comfortable with the guys that are on the team, and starts to take more first-team reps, which I think they all do anyways. Keelan Russell, I think the quarterback competition is going to be very, very competitive, which will actually boost up our starter. What I'm curious about, though, is let's say one quarterback, let's say it's Austin Mack, in the first couple of games, if he can't get it done, is this the first time during DeBoer's tenure here that we see him kind of give another quarterback an opportunity? I think I would say yes, because you have someone special like Keelan Russell. Are they running a 2-platoon system? Absolutely not. But this might be the first year where you kind of let these guys battle it out even during the season, because this season for DeBoer and everyone else, I think, is absolutely critical. Your thoughts, man? Go ahead.
Yeah, because, what's crazy was when Ty Simpson, when them little games that, they blow teams out, what's crazy was Austin Mack and Keelan Russell moved the offense better than Ty Simpson, which was the craziest fact that I don't know some people had, torn out. But the ball movement, like the first downs, the catching, and, it seemed like it was flowing good, like they done been there before. Yep. Now, the Austin Mack about that game, I'm not mad about that, because I like that's his first time actually playing, and then he playing against a good team. Mm-hmm. So that ain't nothing against Austin Mack.
Yeah.
But, it just, Keelan Russell and Austin Mack is two special players that people need to realize, and whoever quarterback this year is going to be a good job. And Alabama fans should be low-key kind of have hope, because, basically everybody that's playing now on Alabama is basically the recruits from Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubbs.
Yeah.
It's basically all dumb people coming in, then the transfers. So it's basically like the little bit of Nick Saban people that been loyal to Wade is basically gone. They in the transfer portal, or they don't make it to the league already.
Yeah.
So, so now I believe that this season right here, we can really see what he really made of. Like all his recruits that, everybody say he recruits different. We recruit more in the West, and this the SEC or whatever. But it doesn't matter what the committee is. I think Lee and Brown both from California, and Bray Hubbard, he's from Oklahoma or something like that. It doesn't matter where you from. It matters about if you play, if you can play good. And nowadays, with these NILs, it's hard to really, to pay pay a player money to commit, but it's all about loyalty. Same thing with Ty Haywood. I believe it just was money involved last year, because his heart was at Alabama.
I got you, man.
And Justin Hayes, he in the transfer portal, and I heard that he might commit to Alabama. And I said, sure, I won't doubt it, because that other dude had flipped to Texas. I said, I won't doubt it at all. I mean, in my opinion, I always liked Justin Hayes. I mean, I tell people, man, that man ain't special for nothing. I mean, Richard Young can get his ass out there. I mean, Jam, they did Jam dirty because Jam shouldn't have came back with that shoulder plate. And you know running back is full contact. Y'all running Jam. And Jam was that man. I mean, he's still that man, but now y'all run him to the ground. Richard Young, he got to go. And you remember that transfer running back who had came? Oh, he wasted his time. He should have stayed at that college. You know what I'm talking about, the transfer running back?
All right, man. I got to move to my next caller, man. But thanks for calling in.
No, go ahead. I ain't going to talk to you that long. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Roll Tide.
You're good, brother. No, I love it, man. I love my calls from South Carolina. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. Calling again. That's my boy JT out from South Carolina. Just threw up a graphic. I'll work on a better graphic. I don't know how I feel about this one right now, but like since we're talking like Portal Combat, here's Coach Kalen DeBoer. I forget which who was the character that had like 4 arms. Was it Scorpion? You had to fight him. He was like at the very top, right? What I might do is make some characters of like Portal Combat. I have to think about it. Who was it? You guys remember? He had like 4. You would fight him at the very top one. All right, I'll take this 256. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Kyle, what's up with you, man? This is Jay from Florence.
What's up, Jay? I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, as I usually do, man. I don't know. You're the only person I ask, but this is because I love Florence. So set the scenery for us.
Man, about like last time I called y'all. It's a little cloudy day. It's a little cooler than port sitting weather. You definitely need a jacket on today. You out and about, but you know it feel all right. Little wind whipping, but you know, y'all make sure you got your jacket and stuff with you.
All right, Jay, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in, dude. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
I feel like there's a lot of division in our program amongst the fan base, but pre-Saban this and Saban fan this, but we can all agree on one thing, and this is facts. Under Saban, pre-Saban, anything, you ain't never questioned Alabama players' effort. You know what I'm saying? And in 2 years, we've questioned a lot of these players' effort, and that's really what a lot of fans be really wanting to say, but don't know how to say it the right way without coming out like, "Oh, I was here before Saban." You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm looking at. I was here before Saban. But we all want the same thing. We want y'all to play hard, play crazy good defense, and run the freaking ball. And Alabama says pre-Saban, post-Saban, whatever. Everybody will be happy with that. But this transfer portal, Cal, they go, man. I was a fan of like no rules and just letting them move or whatever. But dang, it's starting to happen to my team. I don't like all that. Hey, Hollywood, what you just do, buddy? You come sign some classes and leave? Like, oh, man, Cal, this stuff crazy. But get that money, y'all.
Oh, man.
Get that money, man.
Right? You aren't kidding. By the way, Justin, get your take on this. Ty Simpson has officially declared for the NFL draft. For those of you that, you know, I mean, he got that big offer from Miami, right? 6.5, which is absolutely crazy. But, I've been saying this. Ty Simpson is ride or die Alabama. That guy, that's why we like the loyalty. And I think that's another sign of loyalty. Like, is that, life-changing money right off the bat? 100%. But, man, like Ty Simpson, number one, he's going to be a top 3 quarterback. And plus, I think he's just Roll Tide, through and through. Anything else, Jay?
I feel that, Cal, but I gotta go get that money if I'm tired, man. I'm sorry, man. Roll Tide. I throw up the link and everything while I'm down here in Miami, baby. But 6.5 million. All right, y'all. I'm just letting you know what Jay said. They got 4 kids. And matter of fact, happy birthday, my baby boy Legend turns 1 today. I love you. Happy birthday, man.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, man. Roll Tide. I love y'all.
Roll Tide. All right, take it easy. All right, happy birthday, Landon. Happy first birthday, man. We hope you have an amazing birthday that's coming to us right here at Bama Football on YouTube. All right, fam, if I didn't get to your calls today, call back in tomorrow. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys' patience as we continue to grow the YouTube channel. You guys give me grace where I need it, and calling in the show. Look, if you want to call in, speak your mind. It's all good. And trust me, as I always say, we be friends outside of this because I'm super down to earth. I am above nobody. I'm not some sort of celebrity. I'm just literally a father of two that does this for a full-time basis. And yeah, you're like full-time? It definitely is 100% full-time. So I appreciate you guys' support inside the comment box. Hope you guys like the product. Wake Up Bama every single morning at 4 a.m. That is the goal, the pride and performance and, the kind of the consistency. And it's a grind to put that together. I'm not going to lie. But we continue to go through it. And I think, going in the springtime, we might, kind of alter it in terms of, we'll talk. We'll always have feedback on, is this something that needs to be on a daily basis? But right now it makes absolute sense as we're in Portal Combat. So, yeah. And do you guys think I should go, should I leave my house today? Do you guys want some news? Just say it. I'll go, I'm about to get, I was thinking maybe a Starbucks today. So if I go out, if I leave the house, something big happens. You guys want me to leave the house? I should. All right, fam. I love you guys. Thanks for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Look, news as it happens. And Sean is like, who is offering him 6.5? Miami. That's crazy, right? All right. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this beautiful Tuesday, January 13th. I appreciate you guys. News as it happens. Wake Up Bama 4 a.m. and then live every single day, 10 a.m. And then on Saturday and Sundays, I've been going live at 12. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here in my corner. I appreciate you guys, and have a beautiful rest of your day. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you.